Alright, hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And yeah, for this video we're gonna be drawing one of the new Pokemon from Sun and Moon. And hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah, we're gonna be drawing Salandit. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen that I got from Google. I think it's somebody made this. It was fan made. I found this on Google. It was from DeviantArt. If you guys look up Salandit, you guys might come across this reference. But yeah, so like always guys, some other tutorials, we're gonna start off by doing a sketch, and then from there on we're gonna do the you guys are gonna do the final drawing. So remember to do your lines light, that way you guys could erase them later on. Sorry, I was scratching my eye. So yeah, so we're gonna start off by doing this oval shape and just try to get the right shape, you know, the right angle, because if you guys look at the reference, it's kind of like, I don't know, like leaning forward a little bit. So the better that you guys make the this shape right here, the easier it'll be to follow my tutorial. Right there I placed my pencil just to give you guys a rough idea of the angle of the oval shape, you know. And then once we have that, we're gonna do this line right here, and once again try to get the angle right. I actually tilted the video a little bit that way, because when the raw video, you know, he's actually a little bit, I don't know, I did him like, I don't know how to explain it, guys. Basically he wasn't like straight, you know. So I had to tilt the video a little bit. Probably you guys could see it on the left side of the paper, it's not even with the side of the video. But yeah, so then we're gonna do this oval shape right here at the top. And this is basically gonna be the head, and it's basically like from the bottom to the top is basically the same thickness as the oval shape. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys, but it's a rough estimate, you know. And then we're just gonna start doing the snout right here, which basically starts in the middle of the head. And the snout is probably as long as where the snout starts and where the oval touches. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. I don't think I point that out, but you guys will get just a rough estimate, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. And around here, guys, we're gonna do one of the legs right here. I do a reference line going down where the snout starts, just to give you guys an idea. And this leg should actually be further out, you know. And I'll show you guys in just a little bit. Right here I make mine a little bit short, just because if I extended that leg, it wasn't gonna look right, you know. Right there, as I show you guys, it should be more. But like always, guys, like if you guys can make any changes to your drawing, go ahead, you know. For example, right here, if I extended that and try to make it as the reference, you know, it was gonna look weird. So I ended up making that like a little bit shorter, just so it wouldn't look too weird. And yeah, then we're gonna do a line at the bottom of the other leg just to extend it to the other side. The same thing on top, and this is just basically gonna help us place this other leg over here. Just, you know, getting it the same thickness, and that way it doesn't look that off. You guys don't have to do those reference lines, but it really helps, you know. And this one should basically be the same length and size as the other one on the other side, although I think the one on the right is a little bit smaller. But I make mine the same, you know, just to make it a little bit more simpler. And basically this is the basic shape, guys. So try to get your sketch as close as you can to this, and from right here we're just gonna add all the details, you know. And in the end you guys are gonna see Salandit. So yeah, so right here I'm just looking at the around halfway there. I split it halfway just to show you guys, and if you guys notice, that's where the snout starts, you know, that as I mentioned earlier. So we're gonna start by doing the eye, you know. And he has a really long eye, so it's gonna start around there, and it just curves up. He has like that, like smiling grin, you know. There we go. And I do change the eye a little bit, not that much, but I do change it later on. Like I said, it's still a sketch, you know. So once you guys have your final sketch, if it doesn't look right, you guys could always change it. The sketch is there just to help us. So there we go, and then I just do a line right there for the eye, just so it could look a little bit better, you know, and you guys could get a better idea on the sketch. So then it does have this little line right there. You know, you guys don't have to do it. You guys could add that later, but I just wanted to add it. Alright, so now that we have that, guys, we're gonna start by doing the left arm, which is pretty close to the right there. It doesn't necessarily touch the oval shape, if you guys notice. and then around there it just curves down at this angle. And then right here we're starting the bottom, and then it curves. It gets a little bit thicker the higher it goes. So if you guys look at the reference, you guys might notice that it gets thinner as it gets to the hands. Right there I was just showing you guys where the line bends. The one on the right side of the arms, it's bends a little bit lower than on the left side. Alright, so now for this side, there we go. And right here I was just trying to make the both hands or arms, I mean, the same thickness. You know, if you guys look at the reference, they're really similar in thickness, so just try to do that on your sketch. There we go. And right here I started doing like the bottom, the neck area. Gets pretty close. It curves a little bit right there, and it goes back up and it meets with the top of the head. I do change this a little bit later on, just because once you have like more of Salandit done, it's easier to notice anything that doesn't look right. For example, this oval shape that he has right here on the chest area, I do change it a little bit, but that's basically where it goes. You know, like I said, once we add more to Salandit, anything that doesn't look right is gonna be really noticeable. You know, and then that's when you guys can make any changes once you guys do your final drawing. So we're gonna start by doing the tail now. It's actually, I think, the same length as the leg, and it gets thinner as it gets closer to the end. There we go. And that's basically the tail. And then probably the hardest part of doing Salandit, it's the legs and the feet. Or I think, in my opinion, it is. I always have a hard time doing those. So right here, this is like where the foot starts, and right there it curves, and it goes further out than the knee, than basically the leg. So that's something you guys could pay attention to, you know, one of those details. And then I do change the legs a little bit, the feet, I mean. Like I said, it's still a sketch, so I recommend looking at the reference instead of following my drawing, or maybe mine could help you a little bit. But yeah, I'm not that good at doing hands or feet. So around there where the oval starts, that's where this like triangle shape meets up, arrow shape. And then we're gonna extend the hand. And right here I actually make my hands a little bit lower than on the reference. If you guys look at the reference, it's almost the same height as the feet. In mine, I make it a little bit more lower than that. But like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly like the reference, and it doesn't have to be exactly like my drawing, you know. You guys could always make any changes as long as it looks good on your drawing. Now the same thing on this side, that arrow shape. And then around here we start doing, and right here I completely do this hand wrong. Just by looking at it, it's really, yeah, it's really bad. And right here I'm just doing like a rough shape of the hand because I'm trying to make both hands the same size in a way, you know. So that's why I made the shape first, and then I added the fingers, and yeah, it's no good. It kind of looks like a heel. I don't know if you guys see that. I do change that once I do my final drawing, guys. Right here, like I said, I recommend you guys looking at the reference. And I think I make my hands a little bit too big also, but it doesn't really matter, you know. So now we're gonna connect this leg right there, and it kind of makes like a triangle shape, that leg right there. Then it extends, you can see a little bit on the other side. So now we're gonna do the other leg, which goes a little bit further than the actual knee. If you guys look at reference, you guys will see what I'm talking about. And then it connects to around there, and then just try to do a line going across, just so you guys could line it up on the other side. That way it doesn't look weird, you know. That way it looks like it's right on there. Now over here we're just gonna connect basically the tail. Just try to get it at the right angle of the tail, you know. And yeah, we basically have a really rough sketch of Salandit. Now we just need to add the little leaf shape that he has on the back, which is basically the way I see him, guys, is he's wearing like a mask, you know, like something, you know, that little thing, this leaf shape basically makes it look like when you tie a mask in the back. At least that's the way I see it, you know. At first I didn't really like him when I barely saw him. And then right here we're just gonna do one of the teeth, and then this one right here, and then these two are basically the same size, but if you guys notice, it doesn't go further than the eye, where the eye starts. And then we can just do this side. This one is the biggest one out of all of them, other than the first one where the mouth starts on the other side. And then this one's small one. It actually should be the same size as the other ones, but I think no, it's a little bit bigger. And yeah, as you guys can see, basically we got Salandit already, just a really rough shape of Salandit. Now it's just going over your drawing, and if you guys could change something, go ahead and change it. This is where I recommend you guys to. Oh yeah, we forgot one part. The eye on the other side, you can barely see it right there. At first I didn't notice because I'm looking at the reference on my tablet, you know, and it's pretty small, so it's really hard to notice like any small things, any small details like that. So I do add it right there. And yeah, so right here I just started erasing all those reference lines, the ones we don't need, basically cleaning up the sketch, you know, that way it's not that confusing, and we could get a closer look at our sketch, you know, compared to the reference. This is where, like I said before, it's gonna be where it's really easy to notice something that doesn't look right, and now's the best time to change it. So if you're not happy with something, go ahead and make those changes, you know. One of those things that I do fix, I'll show you guys what I do in just a little bit, but this is where I compare my sketch to the reference and then make any changes. I'm really happy the way the sketch came out. So in the end, once I do my final drawing, I don't make that many changes, you know. You guys will see that the same shapes and everything I end up using on my final drawing. You guys don't have to do the same, you know. If something doesn't look right, then you guys could go ahead and change it. The reference is just there to help us do the final drawing, you know. Right here I'm just working on his back, because it's not a straight line. And then right here I'm just working on the shape of the knee, you know. So yeah, so just get a closer look at the reference. That's why I have it up there, for the same reason. And just make any of those changes, add those small details, and hopefully it wasn't that hard for you guys. Something that I do change is the feet and the hands, obviously, since yeah, they're not that good, they're really rough. And I knew that, you know, once I was doing them, because I didn't want to waste your time, because it was going to take a while for me to do those, you know, right? So I could basically just give you guys a really rough shape of the hands and feet. And right here I noticed that the snout is actually more boxy than the way I had it. Mine was a little bit more round. So this is where I do those straight lines, you know. And it starts to look a little bit closer to the reference, just by that small thing, you know. It just made it a lot better. So just pay close attention to the reference, and there you go. From here on, guys, like, since we didn't do that many rough shapes or lines, I mean, you guys could just work on your sketch, you know, and then just basically do your final drawing. But usually what I do, and I do it just so the final picture could be a little bit cleaner, what I do is that I erase the whole drawing, you know. Even though it's really light, I can still see those lines even though I erase them. Here you guys are gonna see me erase them. And if you guys notice right there, he's not straight. That's why I had to tilt the video a little bit, or I might do that the same, tilt the video the same thing on the final video. But right here he's not straight. So yeah, guys, so I end up erasing the whole drawing, you know, the whole everything, just to get it a lot cleaner. And those lines are still there, I can still see them. And then basically I just start from scratch, you know. I start all over. I started off by doing the eye. Now that I'm looking at them, they don't really look the same. But like I said, and that's because you guys have the reference and my drawing right there next to each other, so you guys are gonna notice anything that doesn't look right, you know. But just by looking at my drawing, you guys wouldn't really like see those small things that don't look like the reference, you know. So like I said, I ended up doing the eye a little bit. I started doing the eye first, and then I just basically followed the sketch, you know, and just made any changes that I felt were necessary. One of those changes was the neck, like the bottom of the neck, you know, the shape. By looking at the reference, I made it a little bit better, and then just made it work. And like I said before, another thing that I changed was the oval shape on his chest. If you guys look closely, you guys might see where it used to be. It wasn't a big change, but I changed it up a little bit, you know. And obvious change was the hands and the feet, although they still look pretty bad. I'm sorry guys, it's just I'm not that good. Hopefully you guys can do a better job than me. But yeah, and basically I followed the same outline, the shape. I like where everything was, so I just followed that, you know. And overall I think he came out pretty good. I like him, you know. He ended up a little bit better. He's not that hard. He is hard, guys. If you guys have a hard time, just start all over, or maybe try it again, you know, or maybe there's other tutorials online. I know there's a few people that that leave comments saying that I shouldn't be saying that drawing is easy, you know, because there's people that have a hard time and then they feel bad because I said it was easy. No guys, just have confidence in yourself, you know. If it doesn't look like the reference or my sketch, then just make any changes to your drawing and make it your drawing, you know. As long as he looks good in your paper, doesn't matter if he looks like mine or the reference, you know. Obviously mine doesn't look that much to the reference. The one on the reference, the head is more round, it's more like more curvy. Mine's a little bit stiff, you know. There's always things that are not gonna add up, you know. If you want to exactly like the reference, then trace it, you know. That's the only way you guys are gonna get it the same. So don't feel discouraged if it doesn't turn out the same, guys. Like I said, just make any changes to your drawing. One of those things, like I said before, was the right leg. The knee, it should have been further, but on my drawing, if I would have done that, it wouldn't look right. So I didn't do that, you know. So you guys could do the same thing with anything else. And yeah guys, and I did end up coloring it, as you guys see here. Right here, the picture, it looks a little bit too bright. It looks a little bit better in the actual drawing, guys. It's just that the light was, when I took the picture, you know, it was too bright, and then it kind of focused a little bit too much and added a little bit more brightness. So it looks a little bit too bright, you know. But it looks a little bit better in person, trust me. And I used my Prisma Premier color markers. I have a set of grays, so I used almost the darkest gray for like the head, you know. Basically, like I said, it's a mask, you know. It's a lizard with the mask on. That's what basically a Salandit is. So I added the darker gray for the head and the feet and the hands, and then I just used the lighter one for the body, you know. And then something I didn't notice before, but his eyes are actually like a really light purple. I think that's a color. I can't remember what the magenta. No, it's not magenta, is it? I don't know why that came. I don't remember what magenta is. Look at the reference, guys. You guys will see what I'm talking about. And then like the highlight, it's like a really light blue. I didn't even, probably you guys can't even tell that, but it is. I was looking, or maybe that's just the way that the artist drew the reference. I'm not sure if that's how he looks 100%, but it looks alright. It looks the same as the original reference or picture from the preview of Pokemon Sun and Moon, where they introduced him. So I don't know. And then also the tail, if you guys see, he has like an orange stripe. I basically just used the regular orange. And yeah, and for the shadows on the gray areas and the body and the head, I just went over it again with the same gray, and it just made it a little bit darker, you know. And it really helps doing those shadows, guys, and highlights. It just makes the drawing stand out a little bit more. I wish I could have done a better job on the top of his head. Yeah, I'm not that good at coloring, guys, so you know, it's not gonna look that good, because it's something that as a kid I never did. I always just left it in pencil. Most of the time I would shade it, but usually I would just leave it in a pencil, because that's the way I liked it, you know. I would get, I don't know, I never really got into coloring until I started doing these videos. You guys kind of pushed me into coloring my drawings. In a way, and it's helping me, you know, because it's making me do something that I wouldn't have normally done, you know. So in a way, you guys are helping me. And then I just outlined the whole the outline in Sharpie, a really fine tip Sharpie. Now looking at it, it's a little bit rough. Maybe the best thing would have been in a pen, you know. The line would have been a little bit more thinner, and maybe it would have made it a little bit better. But when I was doing it, I was thinking, you know, since he's really dark in a way, a darker outline, more bold outline would have, you know, it would have been better. You guys would have been able to see the lines a little bit better. So that's why I ended up doing it in Sharpie. And I bit my tongue right there. Oh, that hurt. But yeah, guys, I've been talking for too long. After a while, you know, you kind of get tired of talking, so I'm gonna stop here. So hopefully my tutorial was helpful, guys. Once again, leave a comment if you guys did end up drawing Salandit. Let me know in the comment section how it went. And remember that you guys could always send in your drawings that you guys do, like the ones you saw at the beginning of this video, by sending them to me. The links will be in the description, like always. To my email and Twitter, you guys can send them there. I prefer Twitter just because it'll be easier for me to see the messages, you know, although I don't get on there that often, but I do check it every time I edit a video, you know, to see if anybody sent in their drawings. That's where I check it, you know, just so I can put them on my video. And yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for watching. And if you guys haven't seen my other tutorials, make sure to go check them out. So far from Sun and Moon, I've done the legendaries, Solgaleo, Lunala, and Mimikyu, like someone was telling me to pronounce them. So if you guys haven't seen those, make sure to go check them out. And yeah, I guess that's it, guys. So once again, leave any feedback, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.